Okay, so this was me 2.5 years ago.
Okay, well, let's see how it tastes. That's good.
And this is me now, minus the 65 pounds that I've managed to lose and keep off for over a year. Okay, so a lot of people ask me, how did I lose the weight? How do I keep it off? Because they know that I'm a foodie, that I eat all kinds of foods, that I do eat. So it's not like I'm constantly starving to myself, because I wouldn't do that. I'm not the kind of person with that kind of willpower. I'm not going to starve myself all day, every day to lose weight. I did cut back on my portion size. There's no doubt about that. And one of the biggest things that I did cut back on was breakfast. I used to eat a big breakfast thinking if I ate a big breakfast it would help get me to lunch, that way I wouldn't be starving. The problem is I was eating these big greasy breakfasts, and that was actually inducing myself to be hungry, and by the time lunchtime rolled around I was absolutely starving every day for lunch, and I would eat too much at lunch, also usually too much greasy food, that kind of stuff. I work on the road. I'm constantly under stress. It's real. I have every excuse in the world of why I shouldn't eat right, and I used to use them. Okay, I've worked a long day. I'm tired. I'll just order a pizza, get it delivered. It's easy. I don't have to go out. I don't have to do anything. The problem is I wasn't thinking about what the cost of eating that stuff all the time, which gets down to where I changed. Because I'm not on a diet per se, I just changed my eating habits and what I eat and how I eat it. The first thing, no food is off limits to me. If I want something, I can eat it. But I have to think about it. Okay, is that a healthy food? Is it going to fuel my body? Is it going to help me get through the day, the next day? Is it good for me? I still order pizza occasionally, and I order some, but I don't do it nearly as often as I used to, and when I do order it, I don't eat as much of it as I used to. So I did cut back on the portion size, but I eat anything I want. The way I severely limit certain groups of foods. One group, if it's a calorie-dense food, if it's fried, it's probably real high in calories. Butter, I prefer butter over margarine. I think it's healthier. I could be wrong. Hey, I'm no food expert, but it's more natural. I prefer that. But do I eat a stick of butter every day? No. Do I limit that? Do I eat cheese all the time? No. Sorry. I love cheese. I still eat cheese, but I have cut way back on it because there's a lot of calories in a bite full. The one thing that I have almost cut out, I still use a little bit of it, still a little bit, is sugar. I really think that sugar is bad for the human body. I could be wrong. Hey, we do need sweet, but if you overload the body with sugar, that's not good for you. Which also, I think artificial sweeteners are just as bad as sugar. Now, some of the more natural ones they're coming out with now, maybe not so bad, but the chemical ones that they use to sweeten sodas and all that stuff, so they give you 0 calories and taste sweet, I don't think those are good for you. Also, I've cut out, or almost completely cut out, highly processed foods. I just don't think that's the way our bodies were intended to work, and so I've cut way down on the processed foods. Also, I limit carbs with fat. At the restaurants, they set the basket of bread in front of you and the butter, and you spread it on. Well, to me, that's like a highly processed carbohydrate with a calorie-dense fat on it. I just don't like eating that way anymore. I don't think it's the way you're supposed to be eating. Like a baked potato, occasionally I'll get a plain baked potato now, a little salt and pepper, that's it. The butter and the sour cream and all that just loads it up, and there's no reason for you to be doing that. I eat lots of vegetables now. Vegetables, I'm not a vegetarian. I love meat. I'm going to continue to eat meat. However, I do think that in this country we eat way too much meat and we don't eat enough vegetables. And the reason I cut back on how much meat is so that I can eat more vegetables. If I fill up on the meat, then I don't eat the vegetables. And the vegetables are where a lot of the nutrition, vitamins, and those kinds of things are at. I eat lots of fiber now. Make sure that I eat vegetables that have a lot of fiber. I eat oatmeal for breakfast, these kinds of things. I have really increased the fiber intake, and believe it or not, meat doesn't have a whole lot of fiber to it. So I have cut way back on the meat, added the vegetables, and I feel a lot healthier, and my body is doing a lot better now. I drink lots of water. Research shows that drinking water helps the body digest or feed on its fat. Without the water, you can't hardly use your fat supplies for energy to fuel your body. Water is also good for your skin, blah, blah, blah. I eat a variety of foods. I try not to eat the same thing every day. It's real easy to get stuck in a rut when you find something that's working on a diet plan, and you're seeing the good results, and it's real easy to stick to just eating that. As much as I can, I try to eat a variety of foods. That said, sometimes because of the way I work, it is hard to do that. But I try to eat a variety of things. I plan my meals and snacks ahead of time. That is one of the things that I have to do to be able to maintain where I'm at. If I get to work and it's 10 o'clock and I don't have a snack that I have already predetermined, like a banana or nuts or something like that, it's very easy to go to the vending machines, get the potato chips, and now I'm scarfing down highly processed carbohydrates that are calorie dense. I just don't. If I plan my meals, I have better results. When I travel, yesterday I went through the Atlanta airport, and I went through and I scanned the airport's website to find where the good food choices were, and I had a salad and a chicken wrap rather than something out of a bag from a fast food place. I try to limit my salt intake. A lot of the restaurants now have the low-calorie menu items, but they have nice sauces and everything to make them taste good, but they are very high in salt. I try to avoid those things because now you're eating a highly processed food with loads and loads of salt. I try to avoid that. The one thing that has really helped me keep focused is my scales have been stuck for a year. I haven't lost weight in a year. I know at first that was very difficult for me, but I did notice that I was losing belly fat. I continued to lose fat off of my belly. Hey, and that's the whole purpose, is to lose the fat. It's not about losing, it's not what the scales say, it's what your body looks like and how your body's reacting. So that is the main thing I stay focused on. One thing I would like is if you have some questions, comments, or anything like that, please put them down there. If you have ideas for what you would like for me to shoot a video of, how do I pick what I'm going to eat when I go out to a restaurant, or how do I make sure that I find something good to eat at an airport I've never been in. If you have any ideas for future videos like that, please comment to this. I'd appreciate it. Thank you.